This is the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Sam.
Good morning, Sam. The final day of finals week and the BG Sports Show for the fall semester. Hi.
Oh, just the worst part will be getting going.
So for those that don't know what it is, what is your big project that you have to present on at 10?
I am presenting my educational portfolio that culminates the 4.5 years of college that I have completed thus far and shows that I'm ready to take the next step in my career and to enter student teaching in the spring.
Oh, my goodness. You sound like such an adult, Sam. I'm so proud.
You should be a little familiar with the whole teaching process with your wife. So that don't know.
Tomorrow we will maybe have another show or two before the end of the year, but Sports Radio America will be off for a while, so we'll probably be off for a while as well. But we will let you know if more shows decide to pop up or not. So just keep tuned to that. But you can traditionally find us from 7 to 8 a.m. Central right here on Spreaker.com. No Periscope again this morning, unfortunately. Our studio's Wi-Fi is not being a very nice person, to put it nicely, on the air. So we're
even in a different part of the studio today.
We are, yeah. We had to move to a different section of the studio today, but it's all good. We're adapting, Sam. We're doing it best we can.
Do.
Exactly. So we will have David Kenyon of Bleacher Report on a little bit later on in the program, and Connor Christensen will be here to offer his fitness tip today, not his fight corner. He had his fight corner on Monday, talking about how Conor McGregor did in UFC 194. So
did terrible things.
It was funny. I saw the reaction video from both camps, and it was like as it was happening, and they were like, "Yeah," and then some people were like crying. I was like, "Wow." Okay, it was 13 seconds, guys. Like, a lot can happen, in 13 seconds. Those guys just won and lost millions of dollars, and boom, like that.
Boom.
Kind of crazy how it works. Either way, though, but if you want to listen to the show, you can get us on demand as well. You can find us on Sports Radio America from 11 to 1 p.m. Central Time, and then on demand on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com, and on Podbean as well.
And as always, you can find us on social media. We are on Instagram and Facebook at The BG Sports Show, and you can always find us on Twitter. The studio is at BG Sports Show, Baxter's at Baxter Colbert, and I am at Samuel _
Studio has its own Twitter. People can tweet directly at the building.
They can.
Wow.
And the building tweets back.
Just walk by and throws a bird at the building. Be like, there you go.
Retweet this building.
Yes, I like it. I can definitely tell that Sam's a little edgy this morning with his humor.
Yeah.
He's just a smidge tired, but we won't hold it against him. But Sam, I wanted to make mention of something here in our first segment.
Yes, please.
About a great legend of all sports, not just women's sports, but all sports as a whole. That would be Abby Wambach. Last night was her final game in the red, white, and blue for the U.S. women's national team down in Alabama. Kind of a weird place to play her final game, but that's just how it worked out. The U.S. was concluding their victory tour after winning the 2014 World Cup, and last night was officially Abby Wambach's last time on the field for the U.S. women's national team. It was a bit of a sad scene. I got an opportunity to go back and watch the videos later. I couldn't get it in live time, unfortunately, but just the amount of respect that she had from the crowd as she was walking off the field. And I thought she did something very interesting, too. She took her shoes off, her cleats off, while she was still on the field and then tossed them off the field and then walked off the field. So kind of leaving the fact that she left everything of her soccer being on the field. She didn't want to walk off the field with her cleats. She's like, nope, I'm walking off the field a different person. My Abby Wambach soccer player is staying forever on the field, but then I'm going to go back to Abby Wambach.
I heard something interesting. I don't know if it was from her or from somebody else in regards to the game last night and kind of her career moving forward, and that I think she believes, and a lot of people believe as well, that her best work and her greatest impact to the sport is still yet to come.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think she's only in her late 30s, honestly. Yep. So, and one of the things we always talk about on the show, too, and we hear across the sports world is like, from actually playing the sport, late 30s is very old. Yeah. But, realistically, that's only like 10-ish years, 10, 12 years older than how you and I are. I mean, we're in our early 20s. I know. Sorry to bring that sad thing about. But either way, I know. But even still, though, it's like she still has plenty of life left in her, and she is such a voice. But one of the things that folks have been wondering about is who's going to be that next voice for U.S. women's soccer. Because obviously Abby will still stay very talky, very talky. She's a very talky person, but
She'll be involved in a different format.
exactly, yeah. So I think now they're looking to see, number one, who's going to step up and score the goals. But I think the U.S. is they're fine. They've got
Yeah.
plenty of girls with Alex Morgan, Sydney Leroux, Carly Lloyd at the World Cup. We saw her scoring goals from midfield because, whatever.
'cause.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, that's how you cap a hat trick off. Just, 60-some yard bomb. Okay, Carly. Anyway.
Must be nice.
Right? I remember when I scored midfield goals. I think I only did it once. That's irrelevant. Anyway, it's just one of those things, though, where you have to just be in awe of who she is. I mean, she scored 184 goals. She is the highest scoring player in international soccer history, men and women combined.
Really?
Not
Both.
just for the United States. Like, every country, you think of great people like, David Beckham, Lionel Messi, more goals than all those guys.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah, and the fun fact about her, too, and I'm sure you know this, Sam, is that she's made her living off of scoring goals from her head.
Yeah, I did know that.
Yeah, it's interesting because this last World Cup, the only goal she scored was off of a volley, and I was like, that's not how you score, Abby. And
Come on.
She said in an interview after the fact, she's like, I was just as surprised as everybody else was that it went in the back of the net. So it's like, you don't think of Abby Wambach as a shooter with her foot. It's always a go up with her head and knock it down. But I think the sport, though, of women's soccer is completely indebted, because you talk about people like Mia Hamm who really put women's soccer at least in the conversation, like, hey, women's soccer is a thing. You should watch it. But
We're
Abby
still here.
Yeah, Abby Wambach took that, what Mia did, and ran with it since 1999, and now is where it is today. I mean, there's a women's professional soccer league now. The women just won the World Cup again, so that's their third time that they've won the World Cup since they've been around. They've won gold medals. I mean, they're going to compete for another one this upcoming summer.
Yep.
And a lot of that doesn't exist if it's not for Abby Wambach. Not to say
true.
that she's the 100% catalyst of the team, but you talk about like a Tom Brady in New England. You take away Tom Brady from the New England Patriots,
What do they
they're
have?
not a 4 Super Bowl winning team
No.
over the last 10 years.
They're
you take
not.
away Abby Wambach, they're not a gold medal World Cup winning team over the last few years.
Yeah.
And you can make arguments depending on those two things about how the women's team is better overall than the Patriots. Anyway, but the fact of the matter is, though, I don't know if we're going to ever see somebody like Abby Wambach in their sport, no matter what the sport is, male or female, again for a very long time, because of her voice, because of her contribution to the amount of success that she had.
Yeah.
You could make an argument for somebody like maybe LeBron James for basketball, considering like how much he's doing for the sport,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
I think it's one of those things too where it's going to have to be somebody who has a lot of success in a sport that doesn't quite have the recognition it does now.
Exactly.
To see her take women's soccer, which hadn't been in the limelight, especially in the United States, and to make it a powerhouse and one of the greatest teams in the world.
Exactly. I think it's interesting, too, that just this last year, the NWHL, the National Women's Hockey League, just was formed as well. And that's very similar to the NWSL, the National Women's Soccer League, where it's got all the stars from the U.S., Mexico, Canada, China, Japan, like every big soccer women's nation is all pretty much here playing in America in the Women's Soccer League, but now they're doing the same thing for hockey, where, for those that don't know a lot about women's hockey, the U.S. has one of the best, if not the best, women's hockey team. A lot of those people come from the University of Madison as well.
Yeah,
so,
they do. I did know they had a good hockey team. Yeah.
They did, yeah. So there's 4 teams that got made out in the expansion league out east. We talked to one of our hockey correspondents, Jada Harris, about a month or so ago. But
Yeah, I
back
remember
about that. But either way, though, women's sports as a whole are continuing to grow. But I think because of the impact that Abby Wambach left on the field and just off the field also, is going to propel women's sports as a whole.
I hope so.
And I think for me and for the rest of the soccer world, and I think we're all very grateful for everything that she did going forward. So do you have any favorite Wambach moments at all, Sam? Or I know you're not a massive soccer fan, or just funny things you've ever heard about her?
No, I mean, again, from coming from somebody like myself who doesn't honestly know a whole lot about the sport of soccer as a whole, besides recognizing the household names, just when I heard that I did hear that she was on her victory tour and she was going to be wrapping up, and But I heard she was finishing up her last game against China down in Alabama. That's just a weird thing to say.
It really is.
The United States team is playing China and Alabama.
I wonder who felt more out of place, the people at Alabama saying, why are we at a soccer game, or the Chinese being in Alabama
where are we?
Like, what part of the U.S. is this? Is this a province? Is this a territory? Like, what's up with this
I feel like
Alabama?
the deep south. I feel like the deep south is sometimes. But anyways,
gosh, it's scary.
Yeah, I don't really have, I guess, any favorite Wambach stories, but just being aware of the impact that she's had. I mean, I can definitely attest to that from a non soccer person. I think that just shows the gravity of what she has been able to accomplish. Is she's touched so many people outside of the direct world of soccer that you said the United States is so indebted to her for what she's done.
I agree. No, I completely agree with you on that one. She is, I think, going to be the face of women's soccer now going forward. People can make arguments with saying, well, Alex Morgan, this Hope Solo. Well, Hope Solo's had a bit of a tarnished off-field incidents with things with domestic violence and other things, and people are more so infatuated with Alex Morgan, the fact that she's incredibly pretty, more so the fact, I mean, she's a very good striker as well, but
it doesn't help that she's,
very, very pretty. Exactly. So, aside from that, though, I think that Abby Wambach is one of the best, I think, that will ever play the game. She'll be one of the last greats to ever kind of come through, because we're coming to this new age of players now in all sports where we're seeing the guys like, I mean, you think about football too, like vocal people like Ray Lewis when he retired. I mean, Peyton Manning's probably going to be retiring soon too. Like, you talk about those guys that are vocal in their specific sports.
Yep.
Abby's going to be that voice now that'll be lost off the field, but when it comes to being back on the field, I feel like she'll be ready to go. So, all right, we're going to go to a break, but before we do, a quick message from one of our sponsors of the BG Sports Show. That would be Student Debt Center. You can call them today now to get your student loan payments reduced by calling 855-401-3508.
That number again is 855-401-3508. Back with more after the break.
Happy Thursday indeed. It's football day.
Absolutely, yeah. Sam just mentioned that during the break, and he was like, oh, yeah, there's a football game tonight. And I think that just kind of proves just how out of whack Sam and I's weeks are. We're like, oh, it's Thursday, football. There's football tonight. But we're glad, though, that there's finally football back again. There's always too much of a break. But Sam also pointed out, and I'm just curious to get your thoughts about this game right away, that there's also a Saturday night game between the Jets and the Cowboys. I know it doesn't really mean a lot for the Cowboys, except for them to try to get a little bit of dignity back. But talk a little bit about this. Well, talk about tonight's game a little bit, David, the Thursday night game and then the Saturday game, too, please.
It's a game, and there will be two teams playing, and it doesn't really mean that much. The saving grace is the Bucs are not dead.
True.
In the NFC, but it will take a Vikings collapse to have Tampa even have that shot.
Well, I mean, the way Minnesota...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, tanking is always a hard conversation because fulfillment of your team. But either way, though, I mean, yeah, this Buccaneers-Rams game tonight just doesn't prove a lot. I mean, Tampa fans are chill. Saturday's game a little bit with the Cowboys and the Jets.
Tight, they just don't have enough offense.
Fair enough,
and
yeah.
The Jets have that strong defense, and the Jets really need this one because of the wild card. They're currently in 6th, but the way I predict the season will end, they will be the last team out, even with a tiebreaker.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, part of me would like to see the Jets back in the playoffs again, Sam. I don't team back in the playoffs.
I mean, would it be nice to get the Jets back in? Yeah, I mean, I think Fitzpatrick's been doing a great job, and they have a pretty balanced offense. Fourth 1,000-year season with a different team.
Yeah.
I would like to see some talented guys like that get into the playoffs and see what they can do.
Fair enough, yeah. All right, David, well, aside from those games, what other games do we need to be keeping an eye on? Any other heavy implication games?
Well, the one that sticks out to me, I'm not sure this matters necessarily, but Pittsburgh and most explosive offense when healthy.
True.
In the league, and Denver has the best secondary in the league.
True.
Bolstered by one of the best pass rushes.
That is also incredibly true, yeah.
So I will be watching that one for sure.
If you had to just offer a brief prediction about that game, even though Brock Big Brock there is throwing the ball for the Broncos. Is this a game that Denver walks away with fairly easily because of the better defense?
I don't think easily is a word in Denver's vocabulary right now. I like Barack. I think he's better than Peyton in this system right now. But they don't score touchdowns with him.
With Brock? Exactly, lighting up the scoreboard by himself for numerous, 350 and, 3 touchdowns and all that. So might be something a little concerning to keep an eye on of the season when it what about the Green Bay Oakland game? I feel like Oakland went in or was able to go and hand Denver that loss last week and made a little bit of a statement. It's very outlandish. I don't think Oakland can make the playoffs anymore. Am I correct about that? I think that they're too far behind.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Okay. Well, at this point, if you're Oakland, though, I mean, you're 6-7, right? 6-7. Sometimes reading isn't the best for me in the morning. 6-7, and they're going up against a Green Bay team that isn't terrible, but at the same time, I feel like if Oakland could go and give Denver a bit of an issue, I feel like they could do the same to a semi-less talented Packers team. Am I wrong for thinking that way, David?
No, I think Oakland is that team that's bordering on relevance, and they're good enough to beat just about everyone, and they're bad enough to get blown out by some random teams, I guess. I mean, you look at earlier this season, they really got trounced by Cincinnati.
No kidding.
It was a 20-point game, and
Enough. Let's see here. I was looking at some of the other games. I mean, Seattle-Cleveland's going to be a bit of a wash. Cincinnati. I'm curious to just keep a half an eye on the Cincinnati 49ers game because this is A.J. McCarron's first game as a starting quarterback for the Bengals. I know it doesn't mean a ton, but is this a game that San Fran has a possibility of capitalizing on a young, inexperienced quarterback?
I think after the way San Francisco looked against Cleveland, the Bengals should run the ball more. And they have been doing a very nice job this year with balance. They just haven't gotten a lot of production.
I mean, I mentioned it against Philly and the Patriots. Is this a game that the Eagles can steal away from the Cardinals?
Oh man, the home, but Arizona, yeah, that defense is just really, really good. Against Arizona is not enough.
I would agree with that. Yeah, and I just feel like, though, from Arizona's perspective, that their production hasn't been quite as high. I mean, they almost lost to the Vikings, who have been struggling. And Teddy Bridgewater threw for over 300 yards against a Cardinals secondary that is at least presumably much better than allowing a younger quarterback like Bridgewater to do that kind of a performance on them. But at the same time, though, I feel like at certain positions, Minnesota is better than Philadelphia, obviously. But at the quarterback, I mean, you can kind of take her to leave it with Bridgewater and Sanchez and even Sam Bradford when he's healthy, I feel like, when it comes to Philadelphia. Am I wrong about that?
The biggest thing, too, is, I mean, that was a Thursday night game. It's a short week.
True.
The game tighter than necessary. I think Arizona should have walked away with that one anyway. But give Minnesota credit. They fought back, and I think the Eagles might keep it close a little bit for a while, but I don't see how with 10 days off Arizona doesn't come in and win like a 35-21 game.
Yeah, I can definitely see the realistic possibility of that. Now, one other question I'm curious about for you, David, is they seem to have been trying to bring in just about anybody nowadays. I don't know if you've gotten a call yet or not to go and try out for them yet, but they've tried to bring in Steven Jackson. I've heard rumors of them signing Monte Ball as well to try to patch up the backfield that is now LeGarrette Bluntless. Do you have any sort of insight at all about what New England's trying to do here at this point? Are they just trying to just get a guy in the backfield that can maybe run the ball, or what is New England thinking, and is this going to affect their potential Super Bowl run?
Well, at this point, New England is just bringing in a third running back for the roster. I think they're okay, not necessarily content, but I think they're okay with Brandon Bolden and James White in the backfield. White is their pretty clear passing down back at this point. And so it's just the Patriot way. You bring someone in, you plug them in, and then they're a Pro Bowler. So
makes sense. That's a very Patriot thing to do.
Bolden has the experience. He's stepped in before. I think Belichick is comfortable with him in there. You definitely want to carry 3 running backs just in case one gets hurt.
Of course.
So I think they're just looking for depth at this point, and Steven Jackson would be a more physical guy, so I understand why they'd reach out to him.
Fair enough. Okay. Any other insights for us all, David, before we let you roll?
Well, no, not really in particular, other than I'm
all right. And any other final words for Sam as well? Today's his final show on the BG Sports Show. Anything you'd ever like to tell him now on the air with thousands of people?
I drafted players, and I expect a thank you note after the championship.
Absolutely. I think something can definitely be arranged.
A 6-pack of Spotted Cow, I think, is the going rate nowadays. Is that correct?
I think that's very nice. But, Sam, you did an excellent job, and it was great to have you around.
Yeah, you as well.
Fantastic. All right, David. Well, if we don't speak to you again, Merry Christmas to you, sir, and we will speak with you next year, literally.
All right, sounds good.
Appreciate your insights, David. David Kenyon of Bleacher Report. Always a pleasure speaking with him. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, it's time to play with the playoffs a little bit there. Sam and I are going to break things down and see what we can figure out of who is going to make it in with only a few games left. We'll be back with more on the BG Sports Show right after this. to playoff what if it up for a little bit.
Playoffs?
Yeah, we're talking about the playoffs
Playoffs?
for real though this time. Now, Sam, the playoffs are a fun time. Everybody loves talking about the playoffs. I love it, especially when my tabs load. So we're gonna make things up as we go along because my tabs aren't loading.
Oh, I have the. You don't have the NFL playoff predictor?
Not in front of me.
don't have
No,
that?
it's not loading for me.
man.
So I'm
Guess
gonna
what?
I guess you're gonna have to lead discussion today. Sam.
I have it.
Oh gosh. All right. What do you got for me then,
All right.
Sam?
Well, let's see. Week 15, we're going to run through these quick, fast, and hurry like we did last time, and I'll let you make the picks. I'll select them.
Okay.
Bucks, Rams.
Bucks,
Jets, Cowboys.
Jets,
Panthers, Giants.
Panthers,
Cards, Eagles.
Cardinals,
Bears, Vikings.
Vikings,
Falcons, Jaguars.
Jags,
Jags for days. Texans, Colts.
Texans,
Titans, Patriots.
Patriots,
Chiefs, Ravens.
Chiefs,
Bills, Redskins.
Bills,
Ooh, Browns, Seahawks.
Seahawks. They're favored by 14.5 in that game.
Packers, Raiders.
Packers,
Broncos, Steelers.
Steelers.
Dolphins, Chargers.
Don't care. Chargers.
Chargers, all right. Bengals, 49ers.
Bengals, 49ers. I'm going to say San Fran steals a game.
Woo!
Just
Lions, Saints.
I'd be lying if I picked against them, so I'll go with the Lions.
Oh, great. Come on. All right. Week 16.
Yep.
Chargers, Raiders.
Chargers, Raiders, Raiders.
Raiders, Redskins, Eagles.
Oh, Eagles.
Eagles, Jags, Saints.
Jaguars.
Jags for days. Colts, Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Patriots, Jets.
Patriots.
Texans, Titans.
Texans.
Browns, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
49ers, Lions. There's a game.
I'll be setting my DVR for that one. Lions.
Lions, Giants, Vikings.
Giants.
Panthers, Falcons.
Panthers.
Bears, Bucks.
Bears.
Cowboys, Bills.
Gosh. Bills.
Packers, Cardinals.
Packers.
Whoa, Rams, Seahawks.
Rams.
Steelers, Ravens.
Steelers.
Bengals, Broncos.
Broncos.
Broncos, Big Brock Osweiler.
This is last Monday night game, too, for them.
All right, and week 17, Jets, Bills.
Jets.
Patriots, Dolphins.
Patriots.
Ravens, Bengals.
Ravens, just to screw with everybody.
Yeah, you just don't like the Bengals.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I'm going to skip this game, and it's going to pick Steelers over the Browns, Jaguars, Texans.
Yeah, what was that? Jaguars?
Yeah. Jags for days.
Yep.
Titans, Colts.
Titans.
Raiders, Chiefs.
Raiders.
Raiders, all right. Redskins, Cowboys.
Skins.
Eagles, Giants.
Giants.
Lions, Bears.
Bears.
Vikings, Packers.
Packers.
Saints, Falcons.
They're both awful.
Saints. Buccaneers, Panthers.
Panthers.
Dabbing through the snow. Chargers, Broncos.
Broncos.
Seahawks, Cardinals.
Where is this game?
It's at Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
Rams, 49ers.
49ers.
Man.
Don't care.
All right, so you know where that puts us?
Where does that put us, Sam?
All right.
Enlighten me.
Let's take a look. See, actually, it really doesn't change a whole lot.
Oh, my gosh.
It doesn't change a whole lot.
I didn't go very outlandish, though, so that's my fault.
No, we're going to look at the AFC here first.
Yep.
Getting the number 1 seed and the first round bye is the New England Patriots.
Shocker.
Grabbing the 2nd seed is the Denver Broncos.
Why do they have a tie?
I don't know. I must have hit a tie with somebody.
11-4-1. Are we playing soccer all of a sudden?
Well, the Packers and Vikings had a tie a couple years ago, and that's how the Packers got into the playoffs.
It's true. Must have
I'll-
missed one somewhere.
Yeah.
That could change it. Oh, they tied the Bengals, whatever game that was, because the Bengals are 10-5-1. That
Oh, there
could
it
change the course of everything, Sam.
All right, we're gonna go Broncos. No, you picked Bengals actually. You picked.
Did
Bengals.
I?
Yeah, you picked Bengals for that game.
Oh, it changes things.
Wow. All right, so there we go.
Shoot.
Patriots 1 seed, Bengals 2 seed. Then you have the 3 seed Broncos
Yes.
are hosting the Kansas City Chiefs.
Not bad. Not bad.
I
at
like
all.
that matchup. And then you have
Good division.
the 4th seed Texans hosting the 5th seed Steelers.
Dang it! I didn't get my Jags in. I thought I made them win out, but playoffs as well, and then you'd have the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Giants all in the playoffs having to play Green Bay at some point or another, and I'd just be like, screw it, we're all done. Don't
Green
even
Bay's
bother.
done. That's
No.
that's the worst.
I don't want either of those teams to win because Green Bay would host either one of those two.
At some point.
Yeah. Well,
Only
Green
for
Bay-
the,
Green
only
Bay would
for
be
the
the three
title
seed.
game. Yeah.
Green Bay's the three seed though, so they would host potentially one of those two guys. Yeah. God, I don't know. I want the Giants to win because I hate the Seahawks. No, I don't hate the Seahawks, but I'd rather the Giants win.
I think Tom Coughlin outcoaches in that game.
I think so. Pete Carroll will probably be too busy smacking his gum, and he'll forget how to call a player a timeout or something.
It's true. So then you have the 3-seed Packers going to Arizona. Would be a rematch of
Oh, that's right. That like 55-45, like
after their Week 16
thriller.
matchup.
Oh, that's right.
Well, and that playoff game too. But
Gosh, welcome to the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
Packers Cardinals. It's tough to beat
Packers-Cardinals?
tough to beat a team twice in like 3 weeks.
That is true. I think Green Bay, McCarthy, if he's still calling the plays, I think they'll find a way to win that game.
All right, so then you have the Giants going to Carolina.
Ugh. Got to go with my boy Cam.
Got to go dabbing through the snow again.
Yep,
All right.
exactly.
So then you would have the Panthers and the Packers in Carolina.
Panthers.
Panthers, and you got Panthers Patriots.
Well, I would normally say Patriots all the way, but because of how well Carolina's played recently, I'm going to give Carolina the edge.
All right, that's our playoff wrap. I like it.
I do too.
Patriots Panthers going number 1 seeds all the way.
Why not?
How typical. Come on.
I don't know. What do you want from me?
I mean-
Where would you pull? If Pittsburgh's defense was better, I would have no problem putting Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
because their offense is by far the best in the NFL right now.
I think Pittsburgh playing Seattle would be a fun game.
I agree.
I really do.
Yeah.
I would like to see a Pittsburgh Seahawks Super
I
Bowl.
want Jacksonville.
No, your Jags aren't going to get in.
Let's go. Blake Bortles
Blake
needs to get it
Bortles is
together.
not getting in the playoffs. Yeah, they have what 5 wins right now? It's not happening.
I feel like we need like a small bet on this. If the Jacksonville Jaguars find a way to get into the playoffs, you owe me something.
They're 5-8. I will take that bet. So if they don't get in, you owe me something.
Sure. What do you want?
We'll talk after the show.
We'll figure it out. We won't gamble on the air. That's illegal. We would
Yeah.
never do such a thing. So, fair enough. Let us know your thoughts though about our playoff predictions. Let us know if you would put a different team in, or what exactly, or even how you think that this playoff format would transpire as well. At BG Sports Show on Twitter, at Baxter Colburn, at Samuel_Wallace. 2. We're gonna go to a break. When we come back, it's power rankings time. Sam, time to see. I think we got a few more movers and shakers as we always do on the BG Sports Show Power Rankings. We'll reveal those right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Sam.
Wrapping up our final edition of the BG Sports Show for the year 2015. It's crazy how fast time has flown. Our 152nd show.
Yeah.
Sam Wallace, Baxter Colburn, doing things here on the BG Sports Show that are not always traditionally done. Just having fun. Just talking about sports. Doing what we do.
Doing what we can.
All right, Sam. Well, our new power rankings are out.
Yeah, they are.
And a little disappointed, honestly.
Me too.
What are you going to do, though? I mean, you know, our staff, we asked them to do one job, and they decided to vote very similar as they did last week.
You know, I mean, for the record, you were the most outlandish voter out of our
I
staff.
usually am. I try to look at it from a more realistic standpoint, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, you know,
Well,
like
other
not
people-
like not including the Bengals in your top 10. That's fair.
Last week, they had it coming, though.
Yeah,
And
I
that's how they
suppose.
finished in 5th last week. So what are you going to do?
All right, so starting at number 10.
Mm-hmm. Do we care about who's looking in at all?
Nah, we'll come back to them.
Okay.
We'll come back to them. Coming in at number 10 and breaking into the rankings for the first time in, I think, probably a while. I'm kind of going back. Oh, they were as high as number 8 back in week 9.
Okay.
So now in week 14, coming in at number 10 is the New York Jets.
Woo! Look at that. Good for the Jets finally getting their way back into the power rankings. Ryan Fitzpatrick and company. Brandon Marshall, as you mentioned, Sam, has just eclipsed his 4th 1,000-yard receiving season for a different team, so congratulations to him on that.
Man,
Jets are kind of a dark horse
Yeah,
this year.
if Marshall wasn't such a head case and had such an attitude problem, he
Right.
could be a franchise receiver and be a
Right.
stud for like ever,
No
wherever
kidding.
he wanted to stay.
Get your head out of your bum there, Mr.
Yep.
Marshall. Number 9 is the Kansas City Chiefs. They stayed the same spot as they were last week at number 9 in our power rankings. Once again, Sam, we were talking about this several weeks ago, like, the Chiefs are done. They're 1-5. They're garbage. And then suddenly they came powwowing back, and now the Chiefs are at number 9 in our power rankings.
Yeah, they're creeping up, coming in at number 8. One of the hottest offensive teams in football, as long as their wide receiver doesn't attack the goalpost. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I feel like they could be a little higher, personally.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they play a lot of these other teams in the top, above them in the top 7, I think they beat probably 3 out of these 7 teams that are still ranked higher than them.
Fair enough, yeah. So Pittsburgh Steelers coming in at number 8. Not a bad overall ranking for them.
No.
Number 7, they stay the same as well. The Seattle Seahawks. I mean, when you beat a team 35 to, I think it was 6, is that what they beat the Ravens by? Something like that.
It was a lot to a little.
It was. So when you beat a team like Baltimore that handily, it doesn't really help your case.
No, I mean, when you beat the teams you should beat, although to be fair, when Russell Wilson has now thrown 16 touchdowns in 4 games without a single pick, that's
True.
he's playing well.
That is true. Was it? Yeah, I'm mixing my games up. Yeah, so Russell Wilson, though, has posted a quarterback rating of 130 or higher the last 4 weeks.
Good.
It just looks like he is
gracious.
Looks like the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Smoking hot.
I love it.
Coming in at number 6 is the Green Bay Packers. Staying at the same spot they were last week. They've been kind of hovering around that 5 or 6 mark for the last 5 or 6 weeks here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Finding ways to stay relevant. It's nice to see McCarthy take over the play calling again, as we have mentioned.
Yep.
We'll see how well that plays out moving forward. If it was just a one-game gig that they had kind of put it all together, or if this is an actual solution to the problems they've been having.
No, I agree with you on that one. I mean, we'll see. Green Bay going forward. I mean, they didn't miss the 5th spot in our power rankings by much, or even the 4th spot, honestly. But this game, this coming weekend for them against Oakland, I think could help bolster them a little bit higher, since Oakland's a much better team than what Dallas even thinks they are.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see what Green Bay is capable of doing. So once again, Sam, you tricked me into having to talk about this team.
Yes, I did.
My favorite team at number 5 is the Cincinnati Bengals. They're not a bad team, but with A.J. McCarron now calling the shots for them under center and in shotgun, I don't know if this is going to be a
see.
Bengals team that stays at 5 for long, honestly. I mean, if they lose to the 49ers this week, I would not be surprised.
This has been the year of the backup quarterback. So,
It has.
So we will see. Maybe, just maybe, A.J. McCarron. Just give him a chance.
I hope somebody at like the ESPYs this coming year or something, like there's like the initial host and then he gets hurt and then they bring on a backup host and then does the rest of the show that way just to like mess with somebody.
That would be hilarious.
Everybody in the NFL would be like, ha,
Well played.
well done, ESPN.
All right, coming in at number 4, dropping a spot from last week, Denver Broncos,
Sad.
36 points in our power rankings.
Well, I mean, you lose to the Raiders. How
The
do you
Raiders.
expect to stay relevant?
I mean, to be fair, Denver's defense played exceptionally well.
They did.
They dominated the time of possession on offense.
That is true.
The Raiders did not have over 200 yards of total offense. But again, we talked about Brock Osweiler cannot seem to find the end zone. I mean, to be fair, Peyton Manning couldn't find the end zone either.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
But, yeah, they're not scoring enough points to win games.
I agree. That's why they play the game, Sam.
That's why they play the game.
Number 3, the Arizona Cardinals. Apparently, Connor Christensen's Super Bowl favorite pick this year.
Yeah, hey, you know, I like the Cardinals. I really do. They're a well-coached team. I do like me some Larry Fitz. He's a good guy.
Yeah, don't we all? Nice fellow. He means well.
Just a good dude. A guy that you would really like to see get a ring and ride off into the sunset.
I agree. I always like those pictures of him after the games, too, where he poses with, like, the older players. Like, he posed with a picture with, like, AP photobombed a shot that he took last week. I thought that was really cool. They're like good guys overall, you know?
Yep. Yeah, coming in at number 2 then is the New England Patriots. They jumped up 2 spots from last week.
After being down in 4th place last week after losing to the Broncos, now they are up to number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, this seems fairly accurate. They did not receive a first-place vote, though, so our first-place team was very outright of a victor.
Yeah, and it was nice to see Gronkowski back with the Patriots and scoring a touchdown and definitely showing that he is going to be one of the main catalysts of that offense. The Patriots' backfield remains to be a question moving forward. We'll see what the rotating door of running backs is in New England coming into this weekend.
Absolutely. And then our number 1 spot is Dab Nation, Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
Santa Dab there. Santa Cam, that's what it is.
You're so thug, Baxter.
I'm so sorry. Is it wrong if I dab? I hit the quan a little bit?
As long as no kids see you. And
I know. I'd hate to have a
freak.
mom write a letter. That would be awkward.
Oh, well.
Writing the BG Sports Show. You can email us at bgsportshow@gmail.com if you want to get a hold of us. That's what it takes to get the people noticing us, Sam. I'm happy to dab all over the place.
And this week, we have one team looking in. We have a token team that got a token vote, and they are the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, someone's got to vote for him.
Somebody did, and it wasn't even our Minnesota Vikings insider.
I know. What's up with that?
I don't know. It wasn't him, but yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, like you talked about before, Teddy Bridgewater throwing MV Palmer.
Yeah.
In Arizona.
300-plus yards. He looked like a real pocket quarterback for once. I'm like, Teddy, well to go, bro.
Yeah, it was nice to see Mike Wallace make a catch finally and start to cash it on that god-awful huge contract that he's getting paid right now.
I know.
So, but yeah, otherwise, running through these one more time, looking in with one token vote, we have the Minnesota Vikings. Number 10, New York Chiefs. Number 8, Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 7, Seattle Seahawks. Number 6, your Green Bay Packers. Number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 4, the Denver Broncos. Number 3, Arizona Cardinals. Number 2, the New England Patriots. And number 1, Dab Nation Panthers.
Woo! We should change their name to that. I think that's what I put them at as my power rankings,
You did.
too. I always have fun with those when I submit my votes. Try to give you a little bit of something to make your brain think.
I'm still waiting for, third string left offensive tackle.
I have thought about that. I've thought about, starting centers or starting guards or something, too. But I'm like, I got to make at least one of them noticeable so that way you can at least have a reference of who they are.
Point.
So if I just go completely, outlandish.
Go super rogue.
Yeah, exactly. And be like, draft picks from the 7th round. Be like, ha, ha, ha.
All right.
That would be difficult. All right, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up here on the BG Sports Show. Connor Christensen is here to talk about fitness and all things wonderfulness in the sports world. We'll be back with him right after this. Welcome back to the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Sam.
Good morning, Sam. Everybody, we love all of you very much. We really do. We do, don't we, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely.
You just kind of looked at me like, we like people?
Do we?
I pretend to like people on a daily basis. That's why I still have a job.
Yeah.
You know, but no, things of that nature. So
I'm going to be a teacher. I better like people.
Yeah, right. You have to fake it more than anybody. Put a smile on and be like, I love my kids very much.
I
They're
just
great.
love them so
Just want to hug
much.
all of them very tight. Just never let them go.
Around the neck.
With the vice grips.
There we go.
That would be bad. Either way, though, it's Thursday, so we get to bring in Connor Christensen. So good morning, Connor. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing really well. How are you guys?
Oh, good. We are in prime form this morning, as you can tell.
Yes.
It's our last BG Sports Show of the fall semester, so we're a tad sad. Sam's last show as well.
Oh, boy.
I know. Did you have any? We'll save it. We'll save your
All
closing.
right,
We'll
all
save
right.
your closing remarks for Sam later.
Gonna hit you right in the feels,
I
Sam.
know. I gotta.
That's all right.
That's fine. So Connor, you know who you are.
I
Sonner,
do.
Canor, Canam, whoever
Stop.
you are. What fitnessy thing do you have for us today, sir?
Well, this entire month is one of the biggest, this month and next month are one and two of the biggest months in gym life ever.
Hashtag gym life.
Hashtag gym life.
Okay.
Would you like to know why, Baxter?
Please enlighten us.
Because when you get to the Christmas, New Year's time, you have everybody that comes into the gym saying, my New Year's resolution is to get fit, finally. And then they work
Don't lie
out
to
for the
yourself.
month of January, and that is it. And then they quit. So here is my fitness tip today,
Okay.
is how to get started.
Ah.
How do we get started as soon-to-be weightlifters and people trying to get in shape? Now, here's the thing. You have to go into gym life with a routine already set.
Okay.
You can't just go in and make it up as you go. You have to find your routine beforehand, go in, and do it. Second, you need to work on diet. That is that's probably the
It's a hard
most-
time of year to diet, though, Connor.
You know what?
Mama whips out that Christmas ham.
It's a great time to...
But Christmas cookies.
I know. Sugar cookies, frosting,
Peanut butter balls.
Oh, with the chocolate and drizzle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stop it.
This is
All right,
your
guys.
fault, Connor.
Hey now. It's also a great season to learn restraint against wonderful things like this.
Only 7 cookies at Christmas, not 12.
Oh, wow.
Fine.
All in proportion.
No. I don't know. I've never really been into cookies, I guess. So I mean, I like cookies, but
sure.
whatever. That's never been a food for me. That's never been a thing that
Good
I
to know. So if
overeat
I ever
on.
make extra cookies, then Sam and I will eat them, and you can just watch us eat them.
Go for it. Go
Okay.
for it.
Good to know.
Anyway, so the diet is probably more important than the actual exercise itself. It's weird to hear myself say that, but 6 packs are made in the kitchen. Your
True.
results will not happen if you don't have the diet to go with it. So the most important thing is to remain consistent. That is the number one thing that you have to do.
Consistency is key.
As a New Year's resolution lifter, you go into the gym and you work out for a month and you say, well, nothing's happening, so I'm done. And that's not how your body works. You
True.
need to give it at least 6 to 8 weeks before you will see any form, well, not any form, but
Some form. A little bit of tone, a little bit of something.
a major result will occur 6 to 8 weeks out. You will see some small strength gains before that if you're weightlifting consistently, but that is due to nerves. That is not due to your muscles actually becoming stronger. Your nerve connection to your muscles is becoming more efficient. That's it. You'll get a little bit bigger, but that's just the pump of the workout. That'll go away after a day, and then your nerves will get stronger. But after 6 to 8 weeks, your actual muscles will become larger or more endurance or whatever it is that you're training for. You will start seeing your results 6 to 8 weeks out. So you have to at least give it 6 to 8 weeks. And I guarantee you, if you lift consistently with a diet plan, with a routine already set, do some research on your routine. What kind of sets and reps should I do? What kind of weight should I start out with? That kind of thing. Do your research. Talk to a trainer. I'm not saying necessarily go and work out with the trainer. That can be very expensive, and some people don't have that kind of money. So if you don't have that kind of money, just talk to a trainer. Go to bodybuilding.com. They have a lot of very useful information. So to recap, have your routine set before you start your gym life. Have a diet plan set before you start your gym life. And then stick to it. Be consistent. Give it 6 to 8 weeks at least before you start seeing any results. Know that you will not see any results until 6 to 8 weeks.
Fair enough.
Are you a person, Connor, who enjoys watching like gym fail videos and things of people doing inappropriate and incorrect styles of weightlifting?
Those are great.
I-
I always think of you when I see those. Always.
It's always funny to see someone like doing, I don't know, like hip extensions on like the pec deck or something. So they're trying. That's like doing leg day on a machine that is not meant for that. And those are funny. But do I like to watch people like hurt themselves? No. I don't like to do that. You'd be surprised how many like gym fails, like the gym memes on Facebook. They posted a video of a CrossFit gym that's clearly not a CrossFit gym, and because CrossFit is great when you have a proper trainer training you, but these people were not doing it correctly, like not even close. And I was sitting there watching this video, cringing in my seat because I was seeing their joints being shredded away by their improper form, and it was really bad. So those I don't like to see, but watching people fail at using machines or just only watching someone do quarter reps on bench press, those are always fun. Those are always fun. It's just like, I don't know why you're here because you're
trying to get swole, man.
Trying to get swole on.
It's like that one guy that we know that we went to school with last year. We'd go in the gym and he only did arms.
Oh my gosh!
Skip leg day.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I don't think I ever knew his name.
Him's boyfriend, if you know who that is.
Oh no, not him. No, he's good. No, he's very
really.
Good.
I thought we said he always skipped leg day.
It was Abercrombie. Abercrombie was the guy who skipped leg day.
Hollister?
Yeah, Hollister.
Hollister.
Sorry, we get our
Thank
brands
you.
mixed up.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
No, the other guy, he does deadlifting almost every single time. He knows what he's doing. He's a very solid weightlifter.
Yeah, Tyler's pretty good.
Yeah. No, but
nice guy.
Hollister, yeah.
Yep, I know who.
He skipped leg day. He and his two other buddies that would go in there. They would just go in, bench press.
He was so upper body.
Stare
So
themselves
upper
up
body.
in the mirror for 20 minutes.
They seriously had pose-offs in the mirror in like their college weight room, and Baxter and I are in there going, all right, guys.
Meanwhile, Connor and I are in the corner just like,
there's
give
a
me
guy-
another 5-pound dumbbell.
There was a guy in my track team in high school who all he did was upper body, and
Oh my god.
he's gotten into actually like some pretty competitive.
Was he a thrower, I'm assuming?
No, he's a sprinter.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I mean, you do drive with your I mean, they help. It helps.
we
but-
joked that he could like just get up on his hands and probably crawl faster.
Right.
Probably.
Oh, man, you can't skip leg day.
Yeah.
I don't care what sport you're doing. You can't skip leg day.
Never skip leg
true.
day.
Never skip leg day.
Exactly.
Most
All right.
important meal of the day. Leg day.
I like that.
Sure. It's a meme or something somewhere already. Anyway, all right. Well, Connor, before we let you go, since today is the final show with Sam, do you have any
I'm gonna cry.
sentiments to throw his way at all before?
Sam, I just want to say that you stepped in and you did a really, really good, consistent job. You
thank
came
you.
in and you
Consistency is key.
You
That's
did
the
really, really well,
takeaway.
man. You did really, really well.
Well, I appreciate it.
Because-
Glad to help out. I'll be back when I can.
We appreciate
go.
that, Sam. All right. Well, Connor, also thank you, sir, for your dedication and hard work this semester, and we'll look forward to speaking with you next year.
Yeah, wow.
Literally.
Next year.
I know. Crazy enough. All right. Well, Connor, we will see you then, man. Thank you
Yeah.
again for your insights. We appreciate it. So, Connor Christensen, our UFC and fitness tip expert here on the BG Sports Show. And, as we're wrapping things up here, I mean, I guess I'll be sappy for a moment too, Sam. And thank you for all of your hard work and dedication and pushing me to be a better person as a whole. So thank you for everything that you did for the BG Sports Show.
Not a
Realistically,
problem.
though, it would not have worked had you not been willing to step in. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it. It's
Absolutely.
been a joy and a blessing to be a part of the growing show of the BG Sports Show.
Fair enough. And if you guys want to tweet your thanks to Sam as well, you can find him on Twitter at Samuel_Wallace2. Give him a shout out. Give him a thanks. Thank you to all of you that made the BG Sports Show so successful this. See you all again next year. Enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas from all of us here at the BG Sports Show.
Peace out, everybody.
Have a good rest of your holiday season, everybody.